All right, Reid, how about a value play that you can give us for this week?
Yeah, I mean, OBJ is at $5,400, right? We saw that price came out before, obviously, what we saw on Monday night. Christian Kirk, another guy that we saw on Monday night. Like DeAndre Hopkins, that's probably a variance where he just didn't do a lot and Christian Kirk did. I think both of those guys are in play. OBJ against Seattle, we know Seattle secondary. And this is what Seattle's defense does. They play a little bit better down the stretch, and it all tricks us into next year thinking, oh, Seattle's defense is great. And then they're garbage for the first 8 or 9 weeks. I think that might be just a red herring where Seattle's defense has been playing garbage teams. OBJ is an option for Matt Stafford. We're seeing that they're getting a lot more used to the connection, and just more practice time and more reps at practice is going to cause OBJ at $5,400 too, which is crazy for one of the best receivers. Well, one of the best teams and a receiver on the best team.
All right, Matt, a value play.
So we've already talked a lot about this Texans-Jaguars game. The one spot we haven't covered is the Houston backfield, and this could be a leverage situation too if the passing games do wind up being popular. The Texans have a trio of, I think, former fantasy RB1s, or at least RB2s, with a lot of health issues with David Johnson, Rex Burkhead, Royce Freeman. There's a chance at least one of these guys are out this week. Johnson was on, I think, the COVID list. Burkhead got injured during last week's game. Maybe Royce Freeman is the only guy left. Maybe it's David Johnson without Burkhead there, but all of these guys are under 5K. So if we get a situation where there's some clarity and we actually know who the starter is that might handle the bulk of the carries, like this is a matchup against the Jaguars for a sub 5K running back. Even though it's the Texans, I think this could be a really good spot.
All right, Geoff, a value play.
Well, Reid and Matt already mentioned like the 5K range for wide receiver, Odell in there, obviously Julio in there, but I think you could go even cheaper. And look at a guy like Robbie Anderson at 4,800. I mean, finally, like getting some targets, double-digit targets last week. And I know it's Cam Newton throwing him the ball, but the big factor here, DJ Moore banged up, questionable already with a hamstring issue. That's something you're going to have to look at. Anderson could just be in a spot to soak up a ton of targets. And again, they're playing Buffalo. We know Buffalo is going to play at a pretty fast pace. They're going to throw the ball, probably going to get up ahead in this game. Anderson should probably just get there from a volume perspective again. Even if Moore is on the field, I wouldn't be shocked to see him push for 8+ targets. And I think Laviska Shenault, we have talked about this Jacksonville game probably far too much already, but I think one scenario is it just becomes like this sloppy pass fest where, both teams throw the ball 40 times. They probably complete like 55% of the passes, but a couple wide receivers have big days. Shenault hasn't scored a touchdown yet. I hate to play the positive regression note, but I mean, at some point, this dude is going to get in. He's a pretty solid receiver. So Laviska Shenault at 4,300, a player I certainly don't mind chasing this week.